we are going to look at the short story and its elements. In your course of study, you are reading a lot of short stories. So this introductory presentation will help you understand the various parts of a short story. We'll look at the introduction and what are the elements and different kinds of short stories. A short story is a short work of fiction. Because of the shorter length, it usually focuses on one plot, one main character, and a few additional minor characters, and there is usually one central theme. A short story, it can be read in one sitting, and it has from 1,000 to 20,000 words. It has a limited set of characters, a single setting, and rather a simpler plot. Now the elements of a short story are setting. Setting means the place, time, and social environment of the story. Then we have plot. Plot is the sequence of actions and events in the story. Then we have theme, the central idea or subject of the story. Then we have the message, the idea the writer wants to convey in the story. Point of view, the angle from which the story is told. Language and style, the way the writer has written the story. Characters, the people in the story. Moral values, the values the story is trying to teach you. Now setting. It is the time and place of the story's action. Setting also includes ideas, customs, values, and beliefs of the time and era shown in the story. Setting is when and where the story is taking place. It establishes the atmosphere of the story. Now, the requirements of a setting are time, place, genuine environment, what is the mood and tone prevalent in that particular setting. Characters, they are the actors in a story's plot. They can be people, they can be animals, or whatever the writer chooses. Whatever the writer chooses. Now there are different types of characters. The first is protagonist. Protagonist is basically the main character who is trying to achieve a goal. Then we have antagonist. He is the character or she is the character who is causing problems in the story. Now there are certain flat characters, they have just one trait and they have no depth. Then we have round characters, they are usually the complex ones, they are many-sided and they are basically taken from real life. Then we have static characters which do not change during the course of the story, and dynamic characters are those which change, usually for the better, due to the events which are happening in the story. Now we are going to look at the elements of plot. The first is exposition. Exposition is a background information which is establishing the setting and describing the situation. Then we come to the rising action. The characters, they are facing or try to solve a problem. This results in conflicts within themselves and within others. Moving over to climax, eventually the story reaches a crucial moment. The tension that is building, it has reached a peak. Then the action, it starts to fall. Sometimes called the denouncement, this part of the story explores the consequences of the climax. The tension in the story begins to ease. Then we come to the resolution. The story's central problem is finally solved, leaving the reader with a sense of completion. Now conflict, it is a problem or struggle in a story. Internal conflict means it is a struggle within the character's mind or heart, and the external conflict is it is a struggle between two characters or between a character and nature. Coming to the themes. Themes is basically the main idea of the story, or it is the idea, the author wants to put across to the reader. Themes can be the author's commentary on life, and themes can be specific and they can be universal. Now, there are different types of short stories. The first is fairy tales. It is about royalty, fairies, wicked stepmothers, giants, and talking animals. And then we have folk tales. They are similar to fairy tales except that they usually are about ordinary people. They are not related to royalty. Then we have science fiction. It is commonly exploring ideas like space travel, time travels, or aliens. Then we have fables. These are the characters which are in this, the characters, they are usually animals and plants and inanimate objects or forces of nature, and they are given human qualities. Then we have, in the end, realistic fiction. It is usually set in modern times and the dialogues are realistic.